My ex-husband gaslit our children about me, so I lit him up in court. Tom didn't just want a divorce, he wanted to erase me from our children's lives completely. He'd forget to tell me about Judy's school play until after it happened, show up an hour late for custody exchanges while telling the kids I was the one delaying, and referred to his apartment as their real home, while my place was someplace they were forced to visit. The manipulation started small after our separation but escalated quickly. Tom enrolled Judy, our daughter, in Saturday dance classes during my weekend visitation, then told her I didn't care enough to watch her recitals. When I called for our nightly bedtime stories, he'd claimed Danny, our son, was in the shower or already asleep at 7 p.m. By month 3, he was telling Judy that my promotion meant I chose money over being her mom, and convinced Danny I moved 20 minutes away because I wanted a break from them. He signed Danny up for therapy after a school incident but listed himself as the only parent, telling the therapist I was absent and unstable. When I discovered this 6 months later, the therapist already had pages of notes about my supposed abandonment. Tom bought the kids new iPads when they refused my calls, and gave Danny a puppy after he told me he didn't want overnight visits anymore. The worst part came when I overheard Judy at pickup telling her friend that Daddy said I was trying to steal them away from their real family. Then one day everything went too far during what started as a normal weekend with my kids. For the first time in months, Tom hadn't texted once during my visitation, and the kids seemed genuinely happy. Judy made me breakfast in bed on Saturday morning, and Danny even asked to stay an extra night. When I dropped them off Sunday evening, Danny hugged me goodbye without prompting. The very next morning, I was presenting quarterly reports when reception called to say I had visitors. 2 CPS workers were waiting in the lobby with a police officer. Tom had reported me for neglect and child abuse, claiming I left the kids alone all weekend with no food, and that Danny had unexplained bruises on his arm. The social worker escorted me out of my office in front of all my coworkers for an emergency home inspection. They found my fully stocked fridge in the kids' bedroom perfectly set up with toys and books, while my neighbors confirmed I had been home with the kids all weekend. The bruises on Danny were from the rough football practice Tom had enrolled him in, but while CPS investigated, Tom got an emergency order requiring supervised visits only, making me miss Judy's 9th birthday party. And even though CPS cleared me completely and noted that the allegations were retaliatory, the damage was already done. My children were terrified. That's what changed everything for me. I realized I needed to stop being his victim and start building my case. I hired a family law attorney who specialized in parental alienation and began documenting everything obsessively. I installed a call recording app that was legal in my state and started recording all interactions with Tom. I screenshotted every text and email while building a timeline that showed Tom contradicted himself constantly in writing. My attorney suggested checking the kids' tablets, where I discovered Tom had been forwarding my emails to them but editing the content to make me sound cruel. I gathered proof of every child support payment and even found photos his girlfriend posted with my kids during times Tom claimed he was working. When I filed for an emergency custody hearing after a year of documentation, I brought 300 pages of evidence organized by date. Tom laughed when he was served and filed a counter motion claiming I was harassing him. He even posted on Facebook about dealing with a vindictive ex who couldn't accept reality. But in court, his confidence crumbled. The judge ordered Tom's work emails subpoenaed, and we discovered he had coordinated the false CPS report during my work hours on purpose. Then I played a recording from a custody exchange where Tom, not knowing I was recording all our interactions, pulled Judy aside and told her what to say about me to the counselor. I showed texts where he bragged to his girlfriend about destroying me, and presented an email where he told his mother I would never see the kids again. They read Judy's statement that Daddy scared her when he talked about Mommy, and Danny admitted on record that Dad said loving Mom meant betraying him. Tom completely lost control and screamed at the judge that I had turned everyone against him, requiring security to restrain him. The judge granted me full custody with Tom getting supervised visits only, and ordered him to pay $30,000 in legal fees and damages. He even faced criminal charges for filing a false CPS report, and when he threatened the judge, he was arrested for contempt right there in the courtroom. The kids were confused, but relieved they could finally love Mommy again. We slowly rebuilt our relationship, while Tom's criminal record prevented him from finding work, and he eventually got evicted, losing his supervised visits.